As a writer, you can act out your fantasies through a character like Skink because he gets away with everything, which things I could never have gotten away with. Wish I could. Skink, No Surrender, is about a girl who meets a fella online and decides to run away from home and join up with him, and her cousin sets out to find her because he knows it isn't just her acting out or running away, that something more serious is going on. Along the way, the boy, Richard, enlists a very unusual character that he meets on the beach, an older guy and kind of an eccentric who said, "I'll help you find your cousin," and off they go. The character of Skink began many, many years ago. I was working on my second grown-up novel that I wrote by myself, and it was also set in Florida, and I needed a guy in a certain chapter. I needed a hermit kind of character, and I wanted to make him exceptional, not just any old, cranky old geezer, but somebody with a backstory that was interesting. So I made him the former governor of Florida who had a Vietnam War hero, had come home, run for office, got elected governor, and then was discovering how corrupt Tallahassee was and how depressing it was to be around all that kind of greed. He just went crazy in the governor's mansion and disappeared, and he became sort of a legend in Florida that way. And then he lives out in the woods. He wears a shower cap a lot, and his hair is, he usually has beaks of vultures strung off of his beard. He doesn't get invited to a lot of social events, but he shows up. And when he gets upset, he cusses, let's put it bluntly. But Richard is there in this book, in Skink, to sort of filter for me. Mally, I like quite a bit. She's a strong character, and she's not entirely happy at home. Once she realizes the situation she's gotten herself into with this fella, once she's actually in the car with him and they're taken off, and she's very limited in the ways she can communicate with her family and with Richard. Then she develops a little code. She develops a way of giving information where the bad guy doesn't know what she's doing, and in the end, she's right there when it all comes to a crashing end. That she's right in the middle of it. The kids' books, I just set out to tell a story, and then whatever story occurs to me. And so this is the first one that sort of calibrated itself more to a little older, sort of a teen audience, because I think the subject matter was a little more serious, a little heavier than books like Hoot and Chomp and Scat. Although they were all serious, they had a serious theme to them. This was a little more grown up in the nature of what was going on, which was actually a crime that was involved in a young kid who's trying to stop it. I have a son of my own who is now it reached the point in his teenage years when we let him read the grown-up books, and Skink is one of his favorite characters. So it led me to think that maybe it was time to formally unleash him on the youth of America and give him a book of his own for an audience of his own young readers, and because he is a favorite among the grown-up readers as well, and kids dig the irreverence and the fact that he sort of lives on the edge and does exactly what he wants, but always for a good cause, never for self-enrichment or anything like that. He lives literally in the woods and eats roadkill. He's not like looking for a payday, but he has a low tolerance for the people that would destroy, the natural part of Florida, and I think that's what they'd rally behind.